and did that team cheer together super loud, I think they've earned themselves an extra 15 enthusiasm points. You guys, 15 points goes to
the Blue Rebels! Ha! Ha! Ha!
You getting scared yet, Redcoats? It's a pretty big team cheer they've got over there. All right, well, in response to these unfair acts, the declaratory of the Townsend Act, colonists began smuggling items. Do you guys know what smuggling is?
Yes.
What is it, you guys? Well, do you think you know what it is? What is it, Zachary? It's kind of like stealing. Go ahead and pull out your pencils, you guys. Just the pencils. Hold up the pencils nice and high where I can see them. Now let's say that Parliament just passed a new act called the Pencil Act. And it states that every pencil in the presentation will get taxed $2, payable to the presenter. That's right, you guys. I'm going to get $2 from every student with a pencil.
I don't have a pencil.
So let me see. I'm going to come around. I'm going to start collecting. Mikey, you don't have a pencil?
No.
No? Are you sure? I thought you were supposed to have. I'll come back and give you an Arjun. You don't have a pencil either. What about you? Have a pencil. That's right. You found your pencil, right? Keona Clement. Oh, you have a pencil too. See, we got some good law-abiding Tories over here. But Darsh, where's your pencil? I thought you were supposed to have one. You're supposed to have a pencil. I thought everybody's supposed to have a pencil. You're supposed to have a pencil. You're supposed to give me $2. Everybody's supposed to have a pencil, you guys.
$2.
Are you hiding your pencils?
I actually don't have a pencil.
You're hiding your... If you're hiding your pencils, you guys are breaking the law. That's called smuggling, you guys. Well, don't worry. I'm not going to enforce the Pencil Act today. Go ahead and put those pencils back under your seats, you guys. You can take them out without fear of being taxed. But the king, he wanted to enforce his laws. He wanted his...
money.
That's right. He wanted his moolah. So we sent officers to the colonies to enforce those laws. They began to abuse the writs of assistance. Coming up, writs of assistance expert. Give her a big round of applause. Take it away, Rhea.
Hi, my name is Rhea, and I'm an expert on writs of assistance. A writ of assistance is a legal document that serves as a general search warrant. This allows the British to search colonial homes or ships for smuggled items or weapons, not there for a good cause.
Give her a big round of applause. Pretty good memorization there, Rhea. Let me give her 25 points. 25 points goes to...
The White Tories! Ha! Ha!
Great job, White Tories. You know what? That's the loudest you've done your team cheer. I'm going to give you guys 5 extra enthusiasm points. 5 points goes to...
The White Tories! Ha! Ha!
And I see some people over here on the Blue Rebels being very respectful, watching very quietly while they do their expert cards. Gina, can you please go for the glory? Go for the glory. Go for the glory. Oh, bummer. She says go ahead and go back to see Gina. Give her a big round of applause. Where is all the gold today, you guys? Well, in response to these taxes, colonists started saying things like no taxation without representation. Everyone's saying no taxation. Without representation.
Without representation.
That's right, you guys. Well, on March 5th, 1770, there was a group of colonists shouting this at a group of redcoats in a place called Boston. And they started calling the redcoats, that's right, they started calling the redcoats a really mean name. And I'll tell you what it was. If you guys promise not to repeat it outside this room, because it's kind of a bad word. You guys promise? Pinky promise?
Yes.
They called the redcoats lobsterbacks. Lobsterbacks, I know. Isn't that terrible, Gracie? Well, it might not sound too terrible today because lots of us like to eat lobster. Who likes lobster, you guys? If you've never tried it, I encourage you. They're kind of like big, fancy shrimp. They're pretty tasty. Well, back then, they didn't like the way they tasted. They called them the cockroaches of the sea. Fed them to their animals, and it hurt the redcoats' feelings because it was making fun of their beautiful red coats like we see a couple of you guys wearing out here. Go ahead and stand up for us, Grisha, Clement. Kaylee, do a little spin for us. Show us those red coats. How would you like if we called you guys lobsters?
I'd sue them.
Well, back then, those redcoats didn't have lawyers, Krisha. All they could do was start hitting the colonists with the butts of their muskets. And the colonists, all they could do was gather the snow off the ground into these things to throw back at the redcoats. What are those?
Snowballs.
Snowballs, you guys. Do snowballs hurt?
Yes. Yes. No.
Really, you guys? They're
Snow
just
can be sharp.
snow, but then they put sharp rocks and seashells inside those snowballs. Those snowballs hurt?
Yeah.
Those snowballs hurt quite a bit until somebody in that crowd yelled fire. All of a sudden, the redcoats opened fire, and then 5 colonists were killed. 6 more were wounded. That event became known as the Boston Massacre. And one of the colonists killed in the Boston Massacre was called Crispus Attucks. Come on up, Crispus Attucks. Give him a big round of applause, you guys. All right, since Crispus here is our first character of the day, let me explain how the characters work. So when you come up here to do your blue card, if you bring your blue card and you read it, you read your blue card, the whole thing, you're going to get 25 points. Just like that, you get 25 points, but if you have it memorized, if you do it all from memory, you guys are going to get an additional 10 points. That's going to be 35 points. Go ahead and toss it to him. He's going to need that thing. Now, you guys, if you have it memorized, like I said, you get 35 points for doing it memorized. But wait, there's more. If you have a costume on, the way Crispus does today, that's going to be an additional 5 points. If you have a prop in your hand, go ahead and hold that snowball up nice and high, Crispus. That is going to be an additional 5 points. And lastly, there is an action on your card. Your card tells you to do something. If you do that action, you will get an additional 5 points, bringing you up to a total of 50 points. But wait a second. How many points did I say you could get for being the character today? Yeah. Up to
55.
Up to 55, right? So how do you get those extra 5 points? Well, I'll tell you, those extra 5 points are not so easy to get. Those extra 5 points are reserved for super acting abilities. So what does super acting look like? Well, it can mean lots of different stuff, you guys. Right. Yes. Well, let's say you're King George, for example, and you decide to do an accent. Hello, my name's King George, and I'm the ruler of the British Empire. Or that could be an example of super acting. Maybe he gets off the Star of Fame, stirs up drama with George Washington and the Blue Rebels. Something like that could be super acting. The other day, students, I had a student come up here and rap a portion of his card. He busted a rhyme, ladies and gentlemen. He dropped a verse on me. It doesn't happen every day, but you know it when you see it. Super acting will earn an extra 5 points, bring you up to a grand total of 55 possible points. Now, I need you all to cover your ears like this for a moment. Just for a second, you guys, I need to talk to Crispus in privacy, so I need everybody's ears covered up. Okay. All right, everybody, give him a big round of applause. It's Crispus Attucks.
Hello, my name is Crispus Attucks. I'm one of the first patriots to be killed in the early fights for independence. On March 5th, 1770, when the British were mistreating the colonists, I led a rowdy march against them. When someone in the crowd yelled, "Fire!" I was shot by the British. After my death, patriots reminded each other about my brave sacrifice.
Fire! Give him a big round of applause, guys. Crispus Attucks. Fantastic work, Crispus. You may return your seats. Now, you guys, let's give Crispus some points here. He did a great job memorizing his card. That is 35 points right there, just like that. But he also has an awesome costume on. Great costume. He also has his prop in his hand. And you guys, he did his action with his prop. He threw that snowball at the redcoats. He fell down dead when they shot him. You guys, it's going to be a total of 50 points. 50 points goes to
The Redcoats! Roar!
Fantastic. Give him another big round of applause. Crispus Attucks and the Redcoats, you guys. Now, after the Boston Massacre, everything was quiet in the colonies for 2 years until something happened with a British ship called the Gaspee. But every time our expert says the word Gaspee, I want you guys to gasp just like that. All right, Rhea, take it away.
Hi, my name is Rhea, and I'm an expert on the Gaspee. The Gaspee was a British ship that was used to chase colonial smugglers. In June of 1772, the ship crashed off the shore of Rhode Island. The colonists there set her on fire.
Give her a big round of applause. Great memorization. 25 points. 25 points goes to
The White Tiger! Ha! Ha!
Fantastic work.